ABC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. Gonna do a quick response to Chris Profay's Thanksgiving thread, which he titled 5 Albums I'm Thankful to Have in My Collection. And just like the title says, 5 albums you're thankful to have. And they can be based off of anything, whether it's sentimental value, something you've been looking for forever, or grail, just whatever. So, obviously there's a gazillion albums in my collection I could choose here. So what I did was I just kind of asked myself a question. I made up a question, and then I just answered that question by picking the album. So I'll share the question and kind of share the album as well. So the first one, of course, I decided to go with is Sentimental Value. Just kind of one of the albums that covers that. First thing that came to mind was this one here, which is Sam Magawana and the African All-Stars. And where this one kind of falls into place for me, this is from 1978, one of my absolute favorite kind of world/African albums and artists. My dad was first generation from Malawi, Africa. So growing up, we had a very strong connection in terms of the culture and things of that nature and the music. And so we're talking about, of course, the late 70s and early 80s. So a lot of what my dad would have was a fellow African students, or even he became a professor, students that he had in his class, they would share a lot of music and stuff with him. So he would always have these mixtapes and kind of mixed 8 tracks that weren't labeled or anything, but just had all of this amazing music that we would listen to all the time. So then as I grow older, start collecting vinyl or whatever else, would love to have some of that stuff, but have no idea who the artist names were or anything like that. So I stumbled across Sam Magawana on YouTube one day and discovered the names of some of the songs, and all the ones on this album were on one of the mixtapes that he had. And so I looked on eBay and found this, and it was really cool because it was kind of it was on an auction starting at $10.99, and when I found it, there was about 22 hours left. So I set my alarm. In 2 minutes before the auction ended the next day, I got on and I did like a $275 bid. It was something ridiculous, but I just kind of knew no matter what someone bids, I have to win this album. And so I'm sitting there because you guys know the last 10 to 15 seconds of the eBay auction is really where all the bids take place, and sure as heck nobody bid on it. So I ended up getting it for like, is it $10.99 or $11.99, something like that. And just awesome, amazing album. There's definitely a very, very strong connection back to my dad. So that's one I'm definitely grateful to have. The second one, I kind of thought about what was one of my favorite albums that I replaced, that I was grateful that I got a chance to replace. Because when I went through a period of purging where anything that wasn't near mint, or when I was getting box sets, I was getting rid of the individual albums I had. And now I'm going back or I've been going back and getting some of those albums back. One of the ones I was most thankful to replace that I wanted back the most is this one right here, which is an OG pressing of, well, I should say a very nice near mint OG pressing of Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood. That was one that when I got the Journal of the Damned box set, I got rid of the Motley Crue albums I had, and I just wanted this one back so bad. And so I was very, very grateful and thankful that I eventually came across a near mint copy. And this was just a couple years ago. I came across a near mint copy of it. And it's not a crazy album anyway. You can find a very, very nice one for anywhere from 70 to, $90 or $100 or whatever. So it's not like insane, but it's just one that I really, really wanted to get back. And of course, you guys know the music on this. I mean, just sonically, one of the greatest albums ever come out at the time. Kickstart My Heart, of course, Dr. Feelgood, Rattlesnake Shake, the same old situation, on and on and on. Just a really, really solid album, but was very happy to get that one back. And the next one on my list is actually a near mint copy of Seventh Son of a Seventh Son by Iron Maiden. That's like the second one right there with Dr. Feelgood, where I want my near mint OG copy back. So that's kind of another one I'm really on the hunt for. Next one here, I picked albums as far as I'm most thankful to have. I was thinking about, out of all the albums that I've asked to have reissued, I've asked the universe, if you will, to reissue, this was the one that I was most thankful that they did and I was able to get, which is Paula Cole This Fire, which is maybe not the one that everyone would expect. But this is just one that I wanted issued on vinyl so bad. Great album from the mid 90s, 96. It's stuff like, I Don't Want to Wait, Where Have All the Cowboys Gone, um, Tiger, and just so many great things on this album. And for whatever reason, out of all the reissues that I wanted, this was one that I wanted the most, and I'm just most happy and thankful to have in my collection. And the last year or two have been pretty darn nice with reissues, so I think it kind of says a lot that for whatever reason that one stands out the most for me. Thankful to have in my collection in terms of just been on the lookout forever, the hunt. And it can also kind of go on the grail status too, but I have been wanting a copy of this since forever, which is John Coltrane's Love Supreme. And this is an OG pressing, a 1965 US pressing. And I have so many different pressings of this album because it's my favorite jazz album of all time. But I've been wanting an OG of this forever. So I'm definitely extremely happy and thankful to have a beautiful copy like this in my collection. The vinyl is a very, very solid and strong VG++ to excellent minus. And the cover is a very, very solid excellent with no creases or anything. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful piece. So I'm extremely happy to have this in my collection. And then last but not least, the question that I asked was, what is just one of the albums that you just, forget about value, forget about rarity, pressings, all that kind of stuff. Just when you think about the music, what's one of the albums you're most thankful to have in your collection just based off the music? And one that oftentimes comes to mind when I go down that train of thought, Billy Idol's Rebel Yell. Still to this day, just one of those albums is just so seared inside of me that I can't even express it. Which is not surprising too, because the first album I ever got out of the store was Billy Idol's Rebel Yell back when I was in 5th grade. In fact, I still have the actual cassette that I got back then. But love every single song on that album. I never get tired of listening to it, even after all these years and all the times that I've spun it and listened to it. This is just some of that music that reminds me of what made the 80s so great and why I think Billy Idol is so freaking cool. So just strictly from a music standpoint, very thankful that just that music is in my life and in my vinyl collection. So there you go. Those are 5 albums that I'm thankful for to have within my collection and kind of why. And as always, let me know what you think. Have a good Thanksgiving, guys, and we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, VC.